Oh, that's not good.
They shrunk in the wash. They used to fit so well.
Well, it's your fault for washing them.
It wasn't me. Because Elizabeth hired a new housekeeper and she put them in the hot steam dry.
Okay.
And now I do them myself. So I got these thrifting. I can't replace them.
All right.
So, my family-given nickname is Doofenshmirtz.
Excellent! My evil plan is working.
Can you do a voiceover for Scholastic Kids Press?
Sure.
Or will you do it in a Doofenshmirtz voice?
It's this name right here, Scholastic Kids Press. Okay, what do you want me to say?
Hello Q, welcome to Comic-Con in the new show Hamster Gretel.
Hello what?
Hello Q, like the letter.
His first name is Quaid, but people call him Q.
Oh, Q, that's your name, okay. Hello Q, welcome to... Wait, welcome to...
Can you read it?
Yes, here we go. Hello Q, welcome to Comic-Con and the new show Hamster and Gretel.
Can I have you do it to the camera?
Yes. Hello Q. Tell me when. Hello Q. Welcome to the new show Hamster and Gretel, and welcome to Comic-Con as well.
Your voice is going to be so
My
dead.
evil plan is working.
My evil plan is working. My evil plan is working.
So we heard from one of our earlier tables that this is officially part of the Phineas and Ferb universe. Is that true?
Yes, yeah. It's like that's all sort of how it all exists in my brain. It's like I sort of think of this as like the next city over from Danville.
Because they're in the tri-state area.
Yeah, they're in the tri-state area, but they're not in the same exact city as Phineas because then we would have heard about them more in Phineas.
So what does this new show bring to the world or the universe that fans can expect to get?
Yeah, well, it's the first superhero. You know, like we did that one Avengers episode of Phineas, but it's like it's bringing a superhero that's sort of more germane to their universe, into the mix, and just having fun with that. I haven't seen a really like a superhero comedy show that I've really enjoyed as a superhero show as well. You know, there's what's the Teen Titans Go is really funny, but I don't feel like it works as a superhero show. It works as a comedy. I was like, I wonder if I can do both of those. So we got board artists who really do great action stuff, and then it also ends up being sort of even more a relationship, like a sibling relationship show. I feel like more of the focus ends up being that, and I feel like this is like like at the end of a lot of the episodes that like once we finish it, I was like, that really just gives me like this warm feeling in my heart, because a lot of the relationship between Gretel and her older brother is sort of based on my relationship with my youngest sister when I was like 16 and driving her. You know, I became her chauffeur for a while. So. I always sort of start with a drawing. You know, like Phineas was a drawing on like paper tablecloth at a restaurant, and Milo was just in a sketchbook somewhere. And this was when we were writing the Phineas movie. We'd be in there throwing ideas around, and I would just be doodling on these 3x5 cards that we were posting up. And I did this hamster in a superhero cape flying over the city. I was like, that's something fun. We should do something with that. And then it's all sort of built around that. Once I figured out that it's like, oh, what if it's a brother and sister, and the sister got superpowers and the hamster got superpowers, and he got left out. What would that do to their dynamic? And that sort of was the jumping off point.
And Meli, how did you get to be Gretel?
When my dad was first making the show, it was during the pandemic, so he didn't really have access to people to do the temp lines for him during storyboarding. So I got called in because we're in the same house, and I did all the temp lines for him. And then when the show got picked up, he recast everyone, including himself, except for me. So I did formally audition technically, but I got the part.
Were you hoping though from the beginning you would have this part?
Yeah, I was really hoping, like, fingers crossed. And then he told me that I was that they would let me audition, like, officially, and then I was like, I'm gonna get it. Like, I was really confident as soon as that happened.
She's a little cocky.
Did you always know that she was gonna be your Gretel?
I wasn't thinking of that. I just really wanted a female voice, because it was me doing Kevin, who was like, I'm way too old for that, but it really wasn't going to work as Gretel. So I just had her come in and read lines. And when I had her read lines, I was like, oh, she's really good at this. She gets every bit of humor that's in there, partially because she grew up with me. So, and we have very similar senses of humor. And she would just read it exactly the way I heard it in my head. And I was like, oh, this sort of works. And then the executives were like, yeah, we should recast this and this and this. It was like, let's just leave her for now. We'll see how it goes. And then, like, it tested really, really well. And they were like, we'll look at some other people and see what they like. But everybody we brought up against her just wasn't as funny. And also she has, like, sort of a low voice for like, it sounds like a little girl, but it doesn't sound like sort of the high, squeaky, Cupid doll voices that you hear in cartoons a lot. And a lot of the people that we would audition would give us that because they think that's sort of what you want. And I felt like she just felt and sounded more real, and so she just survived all the way through that whole process, and now she's in the show full time, which is great.
How old are you?
I'm 14.
Thank you so much. Can I ask one?
Yeah.
How does it feel to work with your dad?
It's really fun. It's more flexible instead of, like, when I used to go into the studio to record, and that was a little bit stressful because I came straight from school to the studio. But we record from home now because he has such a good setup, and it's like we can choose when we record. Like, if I'm not feeling good one night, we'll just do it tomorrow night, just at a time, and then I'll do it. And I can be more chill with him. I don't have to be so professional. Like, he has all these, like, little clips in his office that go on his magnetic whiteboard, and he leaves them on his desk, and I'll clip them onto him while he's not paying attention. And there have been times where he walks out of that room and they're still attached to him because he doesn't realize.
Or sometimes I'll be recording, she sits right here, I'll be recording, and I'll just suddenly, like, I'll feel that, or she'll just reach over and bite my shoulder or something just to get my attention, or, like, put something in my hair or something like that.
I got a clip on his headphones once without him noticing.
Yes. and like, there's extra weight and there's, like, an eggplant banging out, so it's really fun.
Do you have any siblings?
I have a sister, she's sitting right there.
Alright, so you got the superpower then, your pet got it, but not your sister, in this circumstance.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, she does some singing for us. She was doing a lot of temps for me because I needed a female singer and stuff. And we finally found a song that my composer was like, is this Alex? We should keep this. This is like the voice this needs to be. And so she got really psyched about that.
Have you met any of the other cast before, or is this the first time today?
I've met Carolina and Allison Stoner because she worked on Phineas and Ferb. I did meet Michael Cimino. He came to the house to write a song with my dad, and that was so scary because I watched his show Love Victor, and when he came to the house, I was in the middle of the third Twilight movie. It's implying that I had voluntarily watched the others, like the ones before.
Which you had.
Which I had. And I was with my mom.
And you were embarrassed because you thought he would be
embarrassing, Dad. Voluntarily watching the Twilight movies with your mom.
Yes.
Literally.
There are millions of people who voluntarily have seen.
But that was a while ago. Now it's like trendy to watch the Twilight movies and enjoy them.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you hope kids get out of this series?
I hope that it's just really fun, and my character reminds me a lot of myself. myself when I was younger, because I was a very high energy kid, and I still am. I'm very hyper. I'm fiddling right now because I have ADHD, and when I do the voice, I just like harness my inner third grader, and I just talk higher pitch, sound really excited about everything.
So Quaid is also neurodivergent. So what do you think when you kids are doing things like recording and being a cartoon character, what advice do you have for kids out there that are neurodivergent?
Be yourself. Have fun. Get help if you need it. Like, don't feel afraid, because I am very lucky to have been diagnosed really early in life. I was like 3rd grade, and then I immediately found a medication that worked for me, and then life was very easy. But there's some kids who are too scared to tell anyone that they're having problems, or they have trouble finding what works for them. And just speaking up about what's, like, if you're having problems, like, speak up about it. People can help you.
And I was, I was undiagnosed
Definitely has ADD.
and I didn't realize that, even though my sister, who's a clinical psychologist, told me, no, Dan, you have ADHD. I was, I do not. I can juggle all sorts of things like that. And then we had 2 kids who were very high on the ADHD scale, and and it took me a while to figure out. Oh, I think maybe I have ADD, and I brought it up to my wife, and I said, after a lot of soul surgery, I was like, I think I have ADD. I think that's what the girl is. And she's like, oh, you think? And I'm like, well, you knew. She was like, whenever we were, diagnosing them, everything the girls would say, and they would say, well, that's something that goes towards this. You would say, well, I was like that, and I'm fine. It's like every single thing that they said you had, and I was like, okay, yeah, I do. But I find that especially in creative fields, so many, it's the majority, it's the vast majority, because I think that's part of, it's sort of like a little superpower for being in a creative field, because your brain just goes off on these things and can do this, and you get this sort of hyper focus on the stuff you love. And I think that's what's made me a better animator, better showrunner, better writer, better songwriter. Like I said, that I can sort of hyper focus on that, get it done.
Great. Can I just get a picture of the 2 of you together?
Sure.
Your arms around each other?
Pretend we like each other.
There you go.